any kind of parallel whatsoever with some of the criticism towards Paul Pogba. Do you see that a little bit? Did you feel the criticism was a bit unfair on you when you were younger?
No, I never really took criticism to heart when I was a kid. I used to use it as fuel all the time. I always turned it into a positive somehow. I use that, what you think about me, you don't know me, bang. I'm doing stuff in training, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And I know Paul Pogba from as a kid. He's a diligent professional footballer, wants to be the best he can be, works hard. But yeah, he's coming in for criticism. Listen, he's a World Cup winner with France. Not many players on the planet get to win the World Cup. He was an integral member of that team. And he just hasn't been able to transfer that form, that playing standard, the consistency in a French shirt into the red shirt of Manchester United. And there's going to be many reasons as to why that is. Is the team set up for him? Is he playing the same style that he played in a France shirt that he does for Man United? I think there's probably more responsibilities on him going forward and creating in a Man United shirt than there is probably in a France shirt. In France, he wins the ball. It's quick transition to the front players, quick, straight away. It's a slower pace at Man United. What suits him? More defensive responsibility in a blue shirt for France. Doesn't seem to be as much in a Man United shirt.
It's more defensive. I know a guy who knows Mourinho well and often sticks up for him, and he says, it's all fine and good saying, oh, look how good Pogba was in the World Cup. But A, he had Griezmann and Martial in front of him, and Conte alongside him. But more importantly, if Jose played the way Deschamps did, it's one thing in a knockout tournament. If he did that all season long for Manchester United, he'd get absolutely killed.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you can't really compare the two. He's won the World Cup with France. He comes back to Manchester United. There's so many differences. There's so many variables. But that's down to him. That's down to Mourinho to work that out. And I think that's been the problem so far. They've not been able to work out what's best for Paul Pogba in the Man United team. Should he be playing from a more reserved, deeper position? Should he be on the edge of all the attacks, assisting, providing chances, etc.? Where is he best in this team? And listen, when you spend that type of money on a player, that's the player you build your team around normally. So, listen, it's the conundrum. It's the situation at the moment that doesn't seem to be able to be solved at the moment, and it's only down to two people that can do that. That's Paul Pogba and his manager. But in terms of application, as a professional footballer who wants to achieve and be the best, Paul Pogba is that guy.
You really believe that?
Yeah, I know that. I grew up. I know. I've seen him grow up, and I speak to him on the phone as well. He wants to play and be the best. Listen, he's got an ego. That's not hard to see on social media. This boy's got an ego. Wants to be looked at and talked about as the best player. There's a hunger and desire for that. But with that comes a work ethic.
The conclusion of the international break, a chance to get back to club matters, and the big question, of course, always surrounding Manchester United at the moment. The situation between Paul Pogba and Jose Mourinho. Craig, the international break, has it given them a chance to mend any fences? Will it have done them any good, or are we just back to the soap opera?
Back to the opera, and that's been fueled again by some comments by Pogba that are there for all to see. So it is a soap opera. Just saying to you there, I'm getting pretty fed up of it now, because I just want to see Pogba playing well for Man United and showing us what he's all about. Driving United forward, getting the goals, really been the backbone of that team. And I'm fed up hearing about happy and unhappy in contracts and whatnot. The transfer window doesn't open until January. It's unlikely, as you know, Ross, that top players leave in January, and he is a top player. So we're probably looking at the summer, if he is going to leave, or indeed if Mourinho leaves in the summer, and the situation may resolve itself. As we are at the moment, he's a Man United player, and I think he needs to do more over the course of a season to aid and abet his under-fire manager.
Both of them have got a responsibility, obviously, to get the performances right.
Yeah.
So, who has to give more than the other? At the moment, it seems like the Manchester United fans seem to be on the side of obviously Paul Pogba in terms of his marketability, his value to the club. But his value to the club really only remains if he performs
on the pitch. And look, I think fans will generally err towards, as you can see here, the star players, and they know. And this is an online poll, so it's not a gauge of everybody. But Mourinho's been a really popular manager, but in the popularity stakes, he's not high at the moment, because there are others out there who are seen to be more forward-thinking. He's pointed out that he's more successful than almost all of them, and he's probably right. But at the end of the day, the buck will stop with Mourinho at Manchester United. What I would say, and it was something that was reported by Mark Ogden, our colleague on ESPN FC, following Man United, is that within boardroom level, he wasn't backed particularly well in the summer, i.e. in the transfers of the centre-halves that he wanted, and also in his quest to get Anthony Martial out of the club. That was something he wanted to do. The club wanted to go in the other direction. So it's a bit of a battle at the moment for Jose Mourinho, as we all know, and the last thing he needs is his star player keeping throwing fuel into that fire.
Fighting on a few fronts, isn't he, behind the scenes? Is the Pogba situation something he's going to be able to use, if he resolves that, to his advantage, or is the only way forward for him to leave the club? You see it being that much of a big
the only
deal?
way forward is results. And what will be will be. But as I said to you, that's probably where are we now? We're September, so we're probably looking at 8 or 9 months down the line. In the meantime, there's a highly paid manager and a highly paid player who really need to get on with pegging back Man City and 1 or 2 other clubs who are getting on with the football. So please, just get on with your football, and we'll do all the other stuff come the end of the season.
Let's hope we can get everything resolved. Of course, next up for Manchester United, Saturday's trip with Watford in mind.